Hey y'all, just on here reading a little Our Daily Bread before I go to bed and just want to share with y'all. So, okay, He is our God and we are the people of His pasture, the flock under His care. Psalms 95 and 7. Unbroken faith. When Diane Doko Kim and her husband learned that their son's diagnostics was autism, she struggled with the very real possibility that her disabled son might outlive her. She cried out to God, "What will He do without me to care for him?" God surrounded her with a support system of other adults raising children with disabilities. He empowered Diane to trust Him with her often unexplainable guilt, feelings of inadequacy, and fear. Eventually, in her book Unbroken Faith, Diane offered hope for spiritual recovery to other adults raising children with disabilities. As her son enters adulthood, Diane's faith remains intact. She trusts that God will always care for her and her son. Uncertainties in life can harden our hearts toward God. We may be tempted to place our faith in other things or people, including ourselves. We can, however, depend on the rock of our salvation. Psalms 95 and 1. A phrase that points to the certainty of God's character. In His hand are the depths of the earth, and the mountain peaks belong to Him. The sea is His, for He made it, and His hands formed the dry land. We can live with unbroken faith, worshiping our Lord, our Maker, and we can trust Him to be with us and those we love because we're the flock under His care. How has God shown that He cares for you and your loved ones when you feel helpless? How does knowing that certainty of His character help you trust Him as a promise keeper? Great. God, thank you for promising to care for me. 2 Chronicles 19 to 20 and John 13 21 through 38 is the scriptures that you can read also. So I want to talk a little bit about this. Faith, unbroken faith. You know, when you go through something traumatic, you think God forgot about you. And yes, your faith do waver, but God will always be there for us. I mean, let me share a little bit about my story. My son was 24 years old when he passed away of congestive heart failure. And he dealt with that ever since he was 1 year old. So my faith was very tested because I, being a single young mother of three, didn't know what I was gonna do about my son being ill, and being that young, I didn't know what to do. So yes, I was like, Lord, what is I'm gonna do? I'm a young mother and I don't know how to help my child. But as time went on, God showed me, I have you and I have your child because I made him and I made you. All you have to do is just take one day at a time and just trust the process. And as time went on, my son began to be a child, began to play, began to do other things that children do. He used to play basketball. He used to play outside. Even with his heart being bad, he still did the things that other children did. He never let nothing stop him. He always wanted to do something. And I'm glad about that because he was a fighter until the bitter end. So, your faith might get broken. And you might get discouraged. But you know what? God said He'll never leave us nor forsake us. And even if it might not be what it looked like, or even if it is what it looked like, trust and believe God is there. So my son, he carried that disease with him until his dying death when he was 24. But he suffered with a heart from the time he was 1 year old to the time that he was 24. But he seen a lot of things in his life. He did a lot of things in his life where he's able to say, Lord, I thank you for the life that he lived because he was able to see things that most 24-year-olds didn't see. He was able to travel and see things, that other people didn't see. And I just thank God for his life, the 24 years that he was able to be on earth with me. And even with him going through all that, he showed faith because he never gave up on God, and he pushed through, even with his heart hurting, even with his heart being at 10% at the bitter end. He never gave up, even on his deathbed. He still was fighting. And I just want to encourage somebody, keep going. Even if your faith do waver, ask God to just let you just hold on a little bit longer. Because God says just a mustard seed of faith. That's all we need. And he's going to grow it. He's going to make it grow. He's going to grow it, and he's going to take it. And he's going to make sure that you get the things that you desire, to get the things that you need, and be able to go to the next level and the next step in life. Because why? He know all about it. He got all the plans for us. He know what's in our mother's womb. So I want to encourage somebody today. If you're feeling low in your spirit, but trust God. Unbroken faith. Because one thing about it, God will always be there. Like I said, how has God